Good afternoon. Trust you're all doing great. So today on the side, we'll take a look at the lower respiratory tract. So earlier, I made a video which explains the upper respiratory tract. And under the upper respiratory tract, we have the mouth, the nose, the nasal cavity, the larynx, and the pharynx. So today, we'll take a quick look at the lower respiratory tract. So let's take a look at the organs that forms the lower respiratory tract. So, organs of the lower respiratory tract. So, the first organ, we have the trachea. Please take note of the pronunciation. So, we have the word trachea. So, the trachea is also known as the windpipe. Air from the larynx passes through the trachea before getting into the lungs. So, that's the function of the trachea. So, when you look at the direction of the arrow on the picture, that is the trachea. So the trachea is also known as the windpipe. Air from the larynx passes through the trachea before getting into the lungs. So let's move on and take a look at the next organ. So from trachea, we have the lungs. We have the lung. So what is the function of the lungs? The lungs is where exchange of gases or exchange of gas what takes place in the body. So what do I mean by the exchange of gas? So the air we breathe in and the air we breathe out all take place in the lungs. In the lungs. So the next organ is the bronchus and the bronchiole. The bronchus and the bronchiole. So with the bronchus, this is how it's been pronounced. So you use the sound. We have the bron and cus. So that's what is in the bracket. So let's look at what the bronchus does. It's split into smaller branches called the bronchioles. It's split into smaller branches called the what? The bronchioles. On the other hand, the bronchioles are small airways in the lungs that helps to carry air to the alveoli, which is also known as the air sac. Good. Let's look at the next organ. So the next organ is the alveoli. Now, when you look at the picture on my left, that is the alveoli. And the picture on my right, we have the bloodstream. So this is what the alveoli does. The alveoli, which is also known as the air sac, carries oxygen from the lungs to the bloodstream. And this is where respiration what ends. This is where respiration what ends. So the alveoli is also known as air sac. The alveoli carries oxygen from the lungs to the bloodstream. Let's look at the last organ of the respiratory tract, which is the diaphragm. But please take note, the alveoli is also known as the air sac, and that is where respiration what ends. So we've come to the end of the lower respiratory tract. And the last organ is the diaphragm. So the diaphragm contracts and becomes flat when we breathe in, but relaxes and pushes out carbon dioxide from the lungs when we breathe out. So that's a picture of a diaphragm. So when you look at the direction of the arrow in the picture, you see a curve or an arc, which is below the respiratory system. And that is what the diaphragm. So the diaphragm contracts and becomes flat when we breathe in, but relaxes and pushes out carbon dioxide from the lungs when we breathe out. Thank you and have a nice day. Please do well to watch my video. It's very important. Thank you.